Hi everyone, I'm Lara and today I am presenting a talk on how we can make tech events more inclusive for a specific community, and that community is the deaf community. So before we get into it, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and why the deaf community. So first of all, as I said in my previous slide, I'm Lara McIntyre and I am a PhD student from Scotland, if you can't tell by the accent. My research is focused on sign language and virtual reality using artificial intelligence. And I am a GitHub campus expert. I've been in the program for 1 year now. And a big part of who I am is that I am a CODA, which what stands for in the deaf community as child of a deaf adult. And if you guys might have seen the movie CODA, it's a really great movie that depicts my experience as a CODA and my experience as having profoundly deaf parents. And the experience that today's society isn't actually really accessible for deaf individuals, as I've witnessed firsthand the barriers that they face because this world is really not suited to deaf needs. So you might have felt a little awkward, a little bit like, what is this girl saying? What is she signing? This is a little glimpse into how the deaf community feels on a day-to-day basis when they access remotely anything. So you can think about how that feels when a deaf individual tries to come to tech events like hackathons or conferences. So why does this matter to organisers? So I think it's really important to address that globally there are 1.5 billion people in this world that suffer with some sort of hearing loss. So deafness sits on a spectrum, and for profoundly deaf individuals in particular, they're born into societies that don't actually share their native language, which is sign language. Now you can think about how isolating that actually is if you're born into a society that really no one actually uses your own language apart from maybe your family or your friends. So it's really isolating and they feel quite excluded. Sign language is a holistic language. It's more than just hands. It compromises facial expressions, body language, and lip patterns, which is a lot of common misconceptions. Sign language actually varies regional, so ASL and BSL are completely different. And also, like any other language, it follows its own grammatical structure. So therefore, languages like written English are often very foreign for a deaf individual, and it's something that they need to go out and learn off their own back. So what does this actually mean at your tech events? So if you picture yourself organised in, say, a hackathon or a conference, then a deaf individual comes along, and say they're sitting in the audience, and then you've got a talk going on, or you've got a workshop going on, and there's no captions, there's no interpreters there, or there's no sign language translation from the talk or the English or anything like that. That individual is going to need to advocate for themselves, and that's what they face outside of tech events already. They're constantly advocating for themselves already, so it's very tiring. You must be able to feel that. So whenever they're outside from tech events, they're constantly having to advocate for themselves. Like an example of that would be, to put it into perspective, if you go to a supermarket like Walmart, or for us UK Tesco, a deaf individual accessing that supermarket, it's very inaccessible because there's no sign language alternatives. So these hackathons or these conferences, if you don't have deaf awareness, then there's no accessibility. That individual will then need to advocate for themselves, like, can you slow down? I'm trying to lip read, or can you write this information down? And it gets a lot, and they don't want to do it. And then they might feel a little bit embarrassed and they don't want to ask, so they might sit in the crowds and they might just pretend that they know what they're saying, and a lot of information is being missed. So this leads to isolation, and they're obviously excluded from this, and then they're discouraged to join again. And the common barriers of this is the main one being low deaf awareness for that deaf individual's actual needs. And if you do consider that deaf awareness, maybe you do hire an interpreter for the day for a 24-hour hackathon, you think, job's done, interpreter's there. But that interpreter is there for 24 hours. Sign language is a physical activity, so that interpreter's signs are going to go down and it's not going to deliver high information. You might not add in captions or sign language on different materials either, and then there might not be any visuals in the space. Sign language is a visual communication, so having that for a deaf individual is really accessible for them. For announcements like on Discord or in person, again, if there's no sign language interpreter or translation for that, it again isn't accessible. and having English-only rules or regulations or insights, especially if you're signing up on a form or something like that. Say you've got a Discord form and it's all in written English. We know that written English is foreign to a deaf individual or something they need to go out and learn. So maybe their English literacy skills are very low. So from the get-go, before they even attend the event, it's already inaccessible for them. So what are some fixes that actually work? What can you guys do today for your hackathons? First and foremost, you can train your volunteers or whoever's organised it on basic deaf awareness. What is a deaf person's needs? What is it that they actually need to be included in that environment? Ask needs at sign up. If you're having a sign up form, first of all, ask if they need a sign language interpreter, ASL interpreter, BSL interpreter, whatever it may be. But make sure that sign up form has a BSL translation, because if you have that sign up form in full written English, again, we know a deaf individual's English skills might not be the best. It's sign language that they need. They might skim through it and then miss that, and then you don't think a deaf person's coming to your event. You start your event and then they're there. Having 2 interpreters and then having them rotate is a good way to get information clear to the deaf individual. Having live captions, sign language videos for talks or materials that you hand out, and visual cues in your environment. For instance, if you stand up and you say to everyone, this is where the talk's going on, this is where the workshops are going on, if there's no visual cues in that environment, a deaf individual is going to feel really lost. And having basic English signs. So how can organisers make it happen? First of all, planning and budgeting, if you have enough money for interpreters. If not, how can we go about other alternatives? Confirming bookings, asking the needs of the individuals before they attend the event. Then delivering, having 2 interpreters there, having captions tested, having good sight lines for that deaf individuals, making sure the deaf individual is seated at the front of wherever the event is taking place so they have good view of the interpreters, good view of the sign language videos, good view of the speakers, things like that. If you sit that deaf individual at the back, maybe they have good access to the interpreter, but then they're seeing the back of people's heads. That's not good for a deaf person. They need to sit at the front and be more visual. And then communicating. Having a accessibility contact if there's any issues or if that event went very well for accessibility needs, and having that good feedback there. And then processing all information through text, sign language videos and voice too. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening to my talk.